never used to think much about mirrors. They were just there, hanging on the bathroom wall, covering the closet door, reflecting my half-awake face in the mornings. But over the past few weeks, I started noticing things. Small, almost imperceptible differences. A hesitation in my reflection's movement, a slight misalignment in the tilt of its head, an expression that didn't quite match my own. At first, I thought I was imagining it. Sleep deprivation, maybe. Long hours at work had left me exhausted, and sometimes when I caught my reflection out of the corner of my eye, it seemed a little off. But I always brushed it off. Until the night it whispered my name. It was late. The apartment was silent except for the occasional creak of old wood settling. I had just finished brushing my teeth, my eyes half-lidded with exhaustion, when I turned to leave the bathroom. But the sound stopped me, soft, barely audible, like breath against glass. Ethan. I froze. The toothbrush slipped from my fingers, clattering into the sink. My reflection was still staring back at me, but its lips, they had moved. My own mouth remained tightly shut, my chest frozen mid-breath. Ethan, it whispered again. A chill spree trug sinking into my bones like ice water. I couldn't move. My reflection's eyes, my eyes, were locked onto mine, but there was something wrong with them. Darker. Too deep, like they weren't reflecting light at all. I bolted from the bathroom, slammed the door shut, and flicked off the lights. Maybe I was just tired. Maybe I had imagined it. But then the knocking started. Soft at first, rhythmic. A tap 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 against the mirror surface. And then, a voice. Let me out. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my bed, staring at the closed bathroom door, my heart pounding so loudly I was sure it would shake the walls. Every few minutes, I heard it again. The tapping. The whispering. By morning, the sounds had stopped. I gathered enough courage to check the mirror. Armed with a kitchen knife like that would somehow protect me. My reflection was normal. Or at least, it looked normal. But then I noticed something. The toothpaste I had splattered on the sink last night. In my reflection, it wasn't there. Days passed, and I tried to ignore it. I told myself it was stress, my brain playing tricks. But the differences became more obvious. My reflection blinked at the wrong times. Sometimes, when I walked past a mirror, I could swear it didn't move right away, like it was lagging behind me. Then came the smiles. I never smiled at my reflection, not unless I was taking some forced photo. But now, when I caught a glimpse of myself in passing, it grinned. Wide. Unnaturally so. One night, I decided to test it. I stood in front of my full-length mirror and lifted my right hand. It mirrored me perfectly. I moved my head side to side. Still normal. But then, with deliberate slowness, I lifted my left foot. It didn't. I stak gerät back, barely stifling a scream. My reflection just stood there, motionless, its face slowly stretching into that too-wide grin. And then its hand lifted, not in sync with mine, but on its own. It waved. I covered the mirror. I couldn't look at it anymore. I was terrified that one night, I'd see something worse. Then, the power went out. It was around midnight. The entire apartment was plunged into darkness. I fumbled for my phone, using its dim glow to navigate toward the breaker box. But as I stepped into the hallway, my phone screen flickered, just for a second. And in that brief moment of darkness, I saw it. A shape, tall, standing in the mirror at the end of the hall. Not my reflection. So meeting Else. I sprinted back to my room, slamming the door behind me. The knocking returned, louder than before. Violent, checking tut against the mirror I had covered. Ethan. It's time. I don't know why I did it. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe I was just tired of being afraid. But I ripped the cloth away from the mirror. And my reflection wasn't me anymore. It was grinning, but its eyes were hollow, black pits. Its arms were too long, its fingers ending in pointed inhuman nails. The worst part? It stepped forward. I didn't even have time to react before the glass shattered outward. A force pulled me forward, yanking me through the frame like a whirlpool. I hit so meeting hard. A floor? No, not my apartment's floor. So meeting cold. Glass. I stumbled up, disoriented, my breath fogging. And then I saw it. Myself. Standing in my room, looking at me. From outside the mirror. I screamed, pounding against the barrier, but no sound came. My reflection, no, not me, not anymore, cocked its head, still grinning. Then, without breaking eye contact, it reached for the light switch. The room went dark, and I was left staring into the endless black of my prison. Trapped, watching, waiting. And so me wäre, Altere, it's living my life.